Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. I was reading through an article and I wanted to touch on some points about oil. Uh, in the article, you'll kind of lose me here. I'll just go right into it. And I just took snippets from it. It says Hurricane Ida is now officially the most devastating hurricane ever in terms of oil production disruption. And experts expect the outages to last throughout the month of September. We've got on the upper left here U.S. oil production. We've got the different years. 2019 was a pretty strong production year. 2020 declined rapidly here, and we've been producing quite a bit less. And then 2021 in the light blue hasn't been that much better. I mean, it's a little bit better than 2020, but we're coming and we're going to be producing less because of some of these, the hurricane here. That's the forecast that they have coming out for the hurricane. Now, looking at inventories, which I have on the right here, this is U.S. crude oil stocks and U.S. gasoline stocks. We are actually at the low end of the 5-year range, and we're outside of the low end of the 5-year range for gasoline. If Ida disrupts the oil production, we could see this dip further outside of this 5-year range and go quite a bit lower on oil inventories. So this is going to put upward pressure on price for oil. There's also, reading other kind of articles, and maybe I'll put these all in the description below, that we could potentially be seeing deficits out a year or two from now. And we would be entering these deficits at probably very low inventory levels is what we'll be entering with. So the potential for a price spike to happen between now and a few years out, I think is going to happen. And it could be a very large price spike because we've got a dynamic here where oil demand is going up and at the same time the supply is going down. And I'll read this other one here from the article. It's the U.S. Gulf of Mexico is gradually bringing back idled production capacities. As of today, roughly a quarter of oil output remains offline. However, the overall anticipation of further stock draws in the U.S. have weighed upon the market sentiment and helped Brent prices home in on the $75 per barrel mark. Ida triggered supply disruptions will only exacerbate the market tightness in the upcoming weeks, as the pace of global demand recovery exceeds supply increments, despite OPEC Plus pushing out more barrels into the market. So I wanted to touch on that. It is, I think, kind of a cool scenario to be invested in because a lot of people we're not really thinking about oil production in Ida. It does delay it. We're at lower inventory levels for crude and gas. And if this inflationary environment comes behind us as well, it's going to push crude way higher. Also, what this is going to do is it's going to push its ratio out of its normal, we'll call it, it's got an upward channel. It's going to push it to the downside and maybe even trigger a huge oil bull market. So again, the oil stocks, they basically have gone up and accounted for COVID. They haven't accounted really for anything that is above and beyond COVID. So I think the opportunity there is quite substantial in terms of the moves that we could see under an inflationary environment with the ratio compressing very tight with these huge supply-demand imbalances that I think are coming some years out. So my take on it is I get the companies I like, and then I just hold on. I'm not going in and out. I'm just holding on, enjoying the ride. I also think natural gas is another good spot to be, and these companies have natural gas and oil. So it's like, perfect. I'm in it. Let's win this. And I think this is probably going to be a volatile sector. It's going to be very volatile. Be patient. Watch your account go up and down a lot. But I think eventually you're going to see a big move. And I'm expecting a big move next year, second half. That's what I'm looking at. And hopefully a lot of the hedges on a lot of these companies roll off. They become a lot less hedged. And you're going to see a lot of these companies make a lot of money. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.